Hey, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another Steve 2 video. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at the best Grandmaster build for the Warlock this week. Now, this build will let you deal with all the champions that are in the Grandmaster this week, while at the same time give you some amazing survivability. So this build is essentially use the sign, so you always get that completion, no matter what your LFGs might be running. And trust me, this week I've been seeing kind of all over the place when it comes to the LFGs. There's some crazy stuff out there. But it doesn't matter, because as long as you have this build, you'll pretty much always guarantee that completion. So I hope you like today's build, and if you do, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already for some more builds every week. And like always, we gotta start with the exotics that we're running on this build. Now for the exotic today, we're gonna be using the Getaway Artist. We're gonna be keeping it pretty simple with this strike. It's a very straightforward strike. We basically kill some enemies, kill some champions, and just try to stay alive. So we're going to be using the Getaway Artist, so we consume a grenade to get the arc buddy. That's going to be just shooting enemies, doing some damage, and overall just helping you get some kills, while at the same time also amplifying us whenever we eat the grenade, giving us a bit of damage resistance. And we're going to be spamming this quite a lot, since the grenade is the thing that we're going to be able to spam the most on this build. You essentially just want to consume your grenade every chance you get, to refresh that amplified, refresh that arc buddy, and to continue to drop some more stasis turrets, which is something that we're also going to do here. Now for your exotic weapon, you have a lot of different choices. I was using the Collective Obligation, but I also used the Graviton Lance, and a couple of times I even used the Subclass class. So any of these are going to be pretty good. The Lemon Arc is also going to be pretty good. Any exotic primary that you like in the energy slot, I think is going to be a really good choice. But especially Void ones, because of all the things we have in the artifact. And for your other weapons, this is where we're going to have the anti-champion weapons. You want a Rocket Sidearm in your kinetic slot. Tanisha's Witch Show Clip works the best, because this is going to be able to stun both champions at once, but any Rocket Sidearm in the kinetic slot is going to be pretty fine for dealing with those barriers. And with the heavy, we're going to be dealing with the Unstoppables, thanks to the linear fusion rifles. So any linear really works well here. I was using the Briars, but you don't really have to use this one. Literally any of them, any linear will be pretty good here. Now moving on to our subclass, we are going to be on the Prismatic Warlock. And for your super, you want to be on the Song of Flame. The Song of Flame continues to be one of the best supers in the game. You are basically unkillable while in it. You do tons of ad clear without the ignitions, while at the same time still putting out some pretty great single target damage. It can be a great super if you need a bit of extra firepower against champions, you want to clear a room that's full of ads, or if you want just a bit more survivability to revive your teammates. The Song of Flame can do it all. Now for your class ability, you can really go with any of them, it won't really matter, but I was using Phoenix Dive. For your melee, you want to go with the Arcane Needle. This thing is going to be fantastic. Every time that you hit something with it, you're going to unravel them, meaning that they will take a little bit extra damage. And as well, because of one of the mods in the artifact, they're going to spawn threatlings as well when you do some damage to them. So it just gives you a bit of extra damage, and we're going to be able to spam this quite a lot, so it's going to go really well with some of the fragments that we also have on this build. For our grenade, we're going to be on the Storm Grenade, just so we can actually activate our exotic, but we're never really going to use it. We're basically going to consume it every single time. You never actually want to throw it. And lastly, for the aspects, we're going to have the Bleak Watcher plus Feed the Boy combo. The most classic combo on the Prismatic Warlock. I wasn't lying when I said we're going to keep it pretty simple. Feed the Boy is going to give you Devour whenever you get some kills with your abilities. And once we have Devour, every single kill that we get will give us some health, as well as some grenade energy. So this is going to be the way that we're going to be able to spam just a ton of grenades out there. And by that I just mean consuming tons of grenades out there, dropping a bunch of turrets, as well as just constantly refreshing our arc buddy, and just regaining amplified. As long as there's enough ad surrounds that you're killing, you can basically just keep spamming this thing just over and over again. And the second fragment is the Bleak Watcher, and this is going to be the Stasis Turret. Now this pairs really well with our gauntlets, because every time that we consume the grenade, we essentially also drop a Bleak Watcher. So we're just going to be dropping turrets, stasis turrets, whenever we consume the grenade. And since we're going to be consuming the grenade as much as we can, that means we're just going to be going all over the place dropping the stasis turrets, and they're just going to continually use slow and freeze targets. This is going to build up our Transcendence very quickly with all the damage that the turret is doing, and also it's just going to be really good for controlling the ads. Actually, not even the ads, pretty much any enemy that's not a boss, anything that gets frozen, the Stasis Turret is just amazing against. It makes dealing with your SWATs just a whole lot easier, and when you have multiple of them just going off, hitting a bunch of things, freezing a bunch of targets, it is amazing. Now for the fragments, we're gonna have faster protection, meaning that every time that we're surrounded, we get some damage resistance. And this one's gonna be pretty good. It's always usually pretty good on the GMs, especially when things get a little too close. It's always nice to have the extra damage resistance. After that, we're gonna have the faster sacrifice, meaning that every time that you have an arc, solar, or void buff, any ability final blows will give us bonus darkness transcendence energy. This is so we can build our transcendence a little faster. And since we're always gonna have, or most of the time we're gonna have the Devour, we're basically always gonna be getting bonus darkness transcendence energy, so we can spam more transcendence. After that, we're gonna have the Facet Devotion. Whenever we defeat any targets affected by stasis or strand debuffs, we gain bonus light transcendence energy. So we're gonna get bonus light from this. From the other one, we're gonna get bonus darkness, meaning that we're just gonna be building up our transcendence meter crazy fast with this build. And that's essentially what you want to do. You want to build it up as quickly as possible, so then you can pop it and you'll start throwing so many abilities out there. So make sure you don't hold on to your transcendence as soon as you get it. You want to basically get it out there just so you can start spamming abilities and killing a bunch of targets. After that, we're going to have the Facet of Ruin. This is going to increase the damage and size of both our solar ignitions as well as our shatters. This is going to be really good since it's going to affect both our super and our turrets. So we're always going to be doing just some more AoE with any type of explosions we do. Whether it's the stasis ones or the solar ones, we're just going to have better explosions. And lastly, we're going to have the Facet of Dawn, meaning that every time that we hit something with our power melee, we're going to get some Radiant. Radiant is a 20% damage increase to all our weapons, and if we manage to get some kills with our melees, the Radiant can also be shared to our teammates. Overall, it's just adding some more damage to our weapons, meaning that we're just going to be killing things faster. And with the amount of melees we're going to be getting out there, especially since we have 3 charges, and whenever you pop Transcendence, you immediately get full charges, we're going to be proccing this quite a lot. And who doesn't love just some extra damage on our weapons, really? Now for the artifacts, we'll quickly go through them. You definitely want Particle Construction, so your linear can do more damage, especially against some of the bigger targets like the bosses, since we have 2 in the strike, and also the champions, so you can melt them a little faster. You also want Defibrillating Blast, meaning that every time that you stun a champion, you're gonna get Bolt Charge, and it also heals you whenever you stun a champion, as well as jolt everything around them. You're basically always gonna have this on, never take this off. Dreadful Finisher is also really good. Whenever you finish a champion or a yellow bar, you essentially get guaranteed special for you and also your teammates. You definitely want to have Malignant Harvest, as well as Volatile Marksman. This will give you some free volatile rounds, as well as some weekends. Horse Shoulders is going to be pretty useful. It's going to add those threat lanes to whenever we sever something with our melee. And while the threat lanes are not going to be doing like a whole ton of damage, it does actually add a bit of extra damage. The last ones you need are pretty much just the anti-champion ones, Piercing Sidearms, Unstoppable Fusion, and that's pretty much all you need from the artifact. And lastly, taking a look at the mods we have on this build, we're going to have Heavy Ammo Scout, Powerful Friends, and Heavy Ammo Finder, just so we can get some more heavy, and every time they pick up an orb, we also give our teammates some armor charge. Next for the gauntlets, we're going to have Impact Induction, Momentum Transfer, and Focusing Strike, meaning that whenever we do some damage with our grenade or our melee, we're going to be charging up our other abilities. For your chest piece, you want Arc Resistance, Harmonic Resistance, and Concussive Dampener. The threat is Arc, so you definitely want to have Arc Resistance, and then Concussive Dampener is just always good. And lastly, the Harmonic Resistance is Solar, and there's a couple of solar things in this strike that definitely can hurt you, so I recommend that you just go with these 3. For the boots, we're going to have Recuperation, also Restoration, Absolution. Nothing really special there, just the classics. Every time we pick up orbs, we heal, as well as get some more abilities back faster. And lastly, for our class item, we're going to have Outreach, Powerful Attraction, and Reaper. After you use a class ability, we're going to make some orbs with our weapons. We're going to pick up any orbs that are in the area, and also we're going to get a bit of our melee energy back. I decided to go with melee since we're going to be getting tons of energy back from just the Devour itself, so I didn't really think that we had to build into Grenade as much as we probably do into melee. But with that, that's going to be the whole build, guys. Now you guys pretty much have everything that you need to go into this GM and get an easy clear. Now when it comes to playing with this build, it is very simple. You consume your grenade when you're kind of close to enemies. That will amplify you and also give you the arc buddy, while at the same time dropping the turret. And after that, you try to get a kill. You try to get a kill with one of your abilities so you can proc the Devour, and after that, you start spamming your abilities and spamming your rocket sidearm. Once you get your Transcendence, you pop your Transcendence, and you just kind of start spamming abilities into the enemies. Whenever you get your grenade back, you re-amplify yourself and drop another turret, and you pretty much just keep dropping as many turrets as you can. The more turrets you have out of the field, the more ad control you have, and the faster things freeze, and also the less things that are going to try to kill you. So you just want to get as many turrets out there, so you're constantly just getting your grenade back, you just keep dropping them out there. But with that, we're going to end today's video. Not really a revolutionary build, you know, it's pretty much like the most true and tested type of build for the Warlock. But, you know, it's true and tested for a reason. It just works. And we don't really need anything fancy for this GM, so definitely give this one a try, and you have some pretty good success. But thank you all for stopping by, thank you for watching today. Let me know in the comments below if you guys got some good grenade launchers this week, or if this helped you get your clear. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.